G'day everybody, it's Campbell from Kiwi Gijoe Customs and Collections, and beside me is...
Hey, it's Cobra Pratt, one and only. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah. We're meant to have Jonny on board, and he hasn't turned up, so I don't know what's going on. I wonder if he's thinking that it's 3 p.m. Australian time, but I'm pretty sure I said 3 p.m. New Zealand time. And if I didn't say New Zealand time, it's my bad. So I think we're just going to wing it. Sorry, our guest honor's not here. So I've got a mic here, guys. So anyone watching, just let me know what I sound like.
Yeah, see how it sounds good.
Is this now? I've got the wrong time. Yeah, Jonny. Come on board, bro.
I was just trying to find you. I was just about to go and find you and text you.
Jonny's here and text world.
Yeah. Jump on. Come on, Jonny.
I love it.
Come on, Jonny. You're Kiwi. You should realise it's going to be our free game.
Be right there. Shut, brother.
Yeah, sweet. We're going with us thinking. Hey.
I've got a mic. There's hey, look, do I sound all right?
You sound not too bad. You know, on StreamYard, you can actually adjust your volume on your mic, eh?
Oh, yeah? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've been today.
Yeah. I've got mine all sussed out. But no, that's pretty
I'm still doing this. I'm doing this on an iPhone.
iPhone?
I just turn my lights on.
You need to upgrade yourself. You need to invest yourself.
Yeah, I do.
Not a fresh laptop, but just a nice laptop.
Yeah. When you're on a budget and all that, it's hard.
Yeah. My budget just gets blown out of proportion from my gear.
Oh, you got no kids, bro. Oh, you do have a daughter, but
I pay child maintenance, bro. So that's about 250 plus a fortnight. So
a fortnight, is it?
Yeah, fortnight comes out my wage.
But you got a better wage. You got a better job. But anyway, nonetheless. Anyway, bro,
that's not
jump on board.
That's nice, Mike.
Any purchases?
That's good. What's that, mate? Any purchases? Oh no, this month has been, as you said, we're talking about low budget, so this month has been very quiet for me.
Yeah. I just had I just had a Jinx turn up yesterday, which I brought. So I'm going to be doing a custom with that character. I already own 2 other Jinx. So one custom I do is we'll be doing a Tiger Force Jinx, and then it's the villain that drives that Stinger vehicle for Cobra, and it's done in Jinx's body mold.
Oh, yeah, Jinx.
Yeah. I'm not being onto it. I can't remember her name. Can't remember her name at all.
Oh, yeah.
What we like in the phone?
Oh, you're breaking up there, bro. You had a bit of a lagging this thing. Where
what's the weather like in Wellington?
Oh, 1 minute it's sunny, but at the same time it's raining. Yeah, Wellington here, and every 5 minutes it can change. Kiwi dude to the max.
Can you hear me?
We got him,
hey, we can hear.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like several hours from now. So.
Nah, we figured that out.
Funny, hey, well, bro,
he probably didn't explain that it was actually 3 p.m. our time, which is roughly 2 hours before you.
My bad.
About 4 hours. I'm in Perth, about 4 hours difference.
Oh, you're in Perth, so you're about 4 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, or behind. You guys are ahead, and then we're
behind, bro.
So that's what
New Zealand's ahead of us, and then Perth, and then everywhere else.
Yeah, we tend to
the reason why. Yeah, bro. There's a reason why, and when 2000 arrived, the year 2000, a lot of Yanks and all that turn up to New Zealand because we were the first one to see the new year.
Yeah, it was an awards time.
And all in Gisborne. So, Jonny, how are you, mate?
Oh, good, man. Good. How about you?
Yeah, we okay.
Well,
stressing where you were.
Yeah, I was watching I don't know, something on YouTube, and the thing popped up live, and I thought, hang on, I thought that was another warehouse. But this is a great time for this Saturday, so yeah.
Yeah, well, it works well for my brother because he works night shifts. So I think you get up about this time before you go to work, hey?
I like to get up around this time to get some few things done before shops close.
Yep.
So I get up about 2:30, rush in, need to get what I do, and go home and sleep. You know, because by the time I do actually get up, no one's open. Not even Wellington. No one's open after a certain time.
Yeah. So you're originally from Christchurch, hey Jonny?
Yep, born and bred.
Ooh, Christchurch.
Born and bred.
So how long did you live in New Zealand before you went to Australia?
Well, I was born there in 1980, and it was the year 2000, so I was 20 when I came to Australia because my mum was coming over here to settle, and we became like citizens and that here for like, you know, work and that sort of thing. But yeah, like I've still always had like half my family's over there. Like my dad still lives in Christchurch, always has. My grandparents who just passed in the last couple of years, but they were there, you know, like 50 years or whatever. They actually moved from the north when my dad was in high school, and him and the brothers moved down. And so I was born, and my younger sister were born in Christchurch, which was probably the first of our family to be down that way.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. They're all.
So you're
that's one thing I was wanting to say.
From the earthquake, hey?
Yeah. Like, I went back it was about the year after that had happened, and I saw a lot of the mess there. Actually, it was I flew in at midnight and got a rental car from the airport that I'd booked, and that they'd taxi you to the rental thing. And I was driving from the airport to my dad's, which is only about 20 minutes away because he's near those suburbs anyway. But a lot of the roads were they'd cleaned up a lot, but a lot of them were still got stops and all that because it's still uneven. They hadn't fixed it all. So there's just like dead ends everywhere. It took me like nearly an hour to get 20 minutes away because it was in the dark and I'm trying to find my way down all these cul-de-sacs and dead end streets. So that was a fun adventure.
Yeah.
But in the daylight, I went through the city, the parts where you could go to, and I had to walk around bits where it was safe, where you're allowed to be, and that, and saw some of the old haunts and how different it was, what a bloody mess it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went there with my wife, bro. Anyway, I went there about a couple of years, a year after the earthquake, just for a holiday. We was down south. What's that French thing down south? Or not Arira, Akaroa?
Yeah. That's like that's way off the coast and around. And like I've been there on the ferry when I was a kid in primary school and had fish and chips and seen the Hector's dolphin there.
Yeah. But I also picked up I've also picked up a few Joes by someone who used to sell Joes over there. I got to see his house, and unfortunately his garage was fine, but the house was meant to be like condemned and all that, or he was waiting for it to be assessed. So he moved most of his Joes was in the garage, and when I saw him I was like, this is great, mate, but you probably want to put like curtains where the windows are because it's going to damage the Joes with the sunlight.
Yeah.
But his I brought myself a tunnel rack. I actually own a tunnel rack originally, but I brought myself a real mint one off him and a few other bits and pieces like deep six and all that. But you know, that's what it is. But yeah, it was pretty hectic, mate. Like we were literally in my Toyota Celica, which is not a four-wheel drive car, trying to avoid potholes.
Yeah. The potholes everywhere. And I remember I've seen a photo book at my grandparents' place. There was quite a few photo books that were done as part of like disaster relief, like, you know, professional photography and landscape and that. And you get like books at the post office showing you some of the messes, the sandy silt stuff that come up, just not unlike Ghostbusters, where the roads literally like cracked in half and the stuff oozed out, all sandy silt like you see on the beach, but then it turned solid like concrete, and that just like jackhammer stuff out. You couldn't even, cars were like stuck in streets, and it was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane, mate. It was literally insane. But anyway, enough of the earthquake and all that. So I wanted to talk about like what's it like being a Kiwi living in Aussie, and also one of the other topics is like the different toy stores between New Zealand and Aussie. I went to Sydney for my 40th, and I saw some toy stores, but I mean, my wife wouldn't let me go around the toy stores. Back in the day, was there for a week, and our schedule was quite busy anyway. To be honest. Well, I got the hell to snake, which is what I wanted to do anyway. But so what's it like being an Aussie? Being a Kiwi living in Aussie?
Well, I mean, the biggest difference is there's more stores and things here, of course. Like when I was a kid in Christchurch, I can remember I was 8 years old when I got some Ninja Turtles for like Christmas or birthday, and like that was like presents and that. But then I liked them, and I started riding my push bike across town to get some more, which was 3 weeks worth of pocket money, New Zealand $15 around about. But that was like Decker and over in Riccarton, and that took me nearly an hour on my push bike each way to get there. And
that's New Zealand. And there was no.
I remember they put a Kmart in sometime after the year 2000. That's out there now. That didn't used to be there, and it felt very Australian. They built up more shopping malls and stuff in Christchurch. It's become more sort of metropolitan or more kind of Melbourne-like, like they've added a lot more stuff in since. But when I was a kid, dedicated toy store. I'm sure they have toyworld in New Zealand, don't they? With the stupid purple bear and all that. Like,
that one.
That one's like New Zealand, Australian store, but they're all kind of independently owned, like they're like franchises or something. But the only dedicated toy store, which I didn't go to, but that was a big one, was Toy Warehouse, and I think that was in either Horswell or Hornby, one of those. But that was miles away from where we live, so I've been there like 2 times in my life. Never bought anything there, but I remember seeing like a Transformers Metroplex in the box. That was the only time I saw it outside of the catalog picture. And that was like, wow. It was like, because you wouldn't get that in a smaller store or department store like bloody Farmers or Decker. They would just have, your Turtles or Joe or whatever. They wouldn't have like big, deluxe, expensive stuff.
I really miss those big ass toy stores, like the Toy Warehouse. And it's like a dying breed. It's like the warehouses and the farmers are taking over. But I went to the warehouse. So for you Australian,
the warehouse of course took off in the 90s and started getting the McFarlane and import stuff as well, like aliens and stuff like that.
And so I went with my daughter, and there's bugger all really awesome. There are some toys, but like there's not much Action Man or action figure toys. Unfortunately, and it's quite sad. There's a lot of Ninja Turtles, and unfortunately, I mean, you love that, and my brother would love that, but I'm not really a Ninja Turtle type of guy, except for the movies.
I did a bit of
Castle Grayskull. I saw Castle Grayskull in the warehouse. That's out the gate. Oh. That's coming back in a big way.
Yes.
The other place I used to get stuff like this is this will be 98, 99. I used to go to Comics Impulsion on Manchester Street in Christchurch, which was run by an old couple who they're probably not around anymore, I think, because they were quite old then. But they were kind of an older age couple that had probably done other stores and whatever in the past. And it was a dedicated comic shop, so I went there for years and years and bought superhero comics and all sorts of stuff. But they would have import figures like on the back wall, usually just a few here and there, and they had the very early like McFarlane, like Metal Gear Solid. My mate bought some of them. When they got into the later McFarlane ones, where it was more the 6-7 inch, because when he first did them, he did like Toy Biz style ones, like almost like 5 POA. They're very simple, advertised and Spawn comics. But they'd have other stuff too, like import Batman, Legends of the Dark Knight, stuff like that. They had a heap of cool stuff. And that's where I first started buying import kind of figures, stuff that was a bit fancier than what was at the regular toy shop. And spending too many, and they always cost way too much.
Actually, you're talking about Batman. I remember when the Batman movie came out. I think you and me, bro, both bought a Batman each. And did you brought Bob the henchman?
Yeah, I bought Bob.
Because no one could find the Joker.
I was into my villain stuff. Come on.
There was like heaps of Batman and heaps of Bob the henchman, but the Joker, you can hardly find him.
You can still find Bob the Goon now. They made too many of those.
Yeah, I think there was way too much.
Yeah, that's why we couldn't find the Joker. Yeah, that's out the gate, man.
Couldn't land it. Couldn't land it.
I never had any of those. I would have liked to. I had a poster on the wall like of the Batmobile and Batman, and I had the Ertl model kit, which my dad helped me build because he had the spray gun out the back, so he did it in like jet glossy black, so it looked real shiny like the movie. It was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, the Batwing.
The Batmobile. The Ertl also did the Batwing, but I didn't get that one.
Actually, I'll tell you what though, I saw in the warehouse today because this is where I got this mic and I hope it works fine. But I saw in the warehouse today they got a lamp of like the Millennium Falcon and also the Batwing. The Batwing is a lamp. It looks really wicked. I should take. It looks really good.
They got that in JB Hi-Fi here. That same Batwing lamp. I've been tempted to get it myself. I'll probably end up like smashing into it in the dark on those sharp edges.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I love it.
I saw a Spider-Man one last year too at EB Games where he's like on a lamp post and he's like hanging off it. And it's also a lamp. And they'll both come out around the same time. I think.
I'm always thinking about if I should get like a gijoe helicopter or a small plane and try and make my own light out of that.
That would be cool.
That'd be kind of cool if I can try and get my head around that. It shouldn't be too hard to do. I mean, as long as it doesn't melt the plastic.
I was just reading this comment there you're saying about vintage toy shops and stuff didn't take off till later on. Like I used to go sometimes with my mate Chris, we'd go to the Sunday markets and that, but we weren't really looking for toys. Like you rarely would see toys there. It was more just kind of all kinds of stuff. And he was more into like art and model kits and Doctor Who. And he was into all kinds of stuff. You might find a cheap Star Trek novel or a Doctor Who novel or something like that there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've noticed now that starting a YouTube channel, I've gone for a couple of thrift stores or off shops. But also like the cheap Chinese $2 stores. Sorry, Chinese people. But yeah, I found some really cool knockoff vehicles, and I look at them like, you can get. I can make a custom out of that. I'll buy that.
Yeah, you can modify them.
Yeah,
there's heaps of good cheap stuff like that. All that you got all the Leonard ones, the core stuff that they tend to have in like either Kmart or the old True Here, which is now Toymate in Australia, and some of those other. Like I reckon some of those ones like Leonard and other companies that make those little, Joe, like your 80s vintage size and scale. Some of them I think must pass on the molds because I've seen literally the same toy in a different box repainted, but it's not a bootleg. It's like, and it's in the same store made for Kmart, but it's got a different brand on it.
Good point, actually.
That's a little horse and it's a Leonard figure on there.
Nice.
But I reckon they go hand in hand. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it's equipment.
Yeah.
Very clever.
What else are we looking at? Collecting. Yeah. So what do you collect, my friend?
I'll try and go a little bit chronological with things. I'll pick up from when I moved over to Australia.
Yeah.
Because I have one of those freakish memories where I can remember pretty much anything I've bought in the last 20, 30 years. But I can't remember something useful that happened yesterday or stuff from work, but I can remember buying exactly where I bought a specific toy, like 25 years ago and what store and where it was in there. I started getting into when I was first over here, which was like 2000, 2001. I was living in the state of Victoria as opposed to I live in Perth now. And I started getting into the very early Marvel Legends, which weren't even called that. It was called Spider-Man Classics. And it was Toy Biz jumping up from the 90s small scale up to the 6-inch scale. And I've still got the Spider-Man right there.
Oh,
I love it.
That was cool. A super posable one. He's got toes, everything, torso. He's got the correct like ribs through here. He's got the dark wash in the there that they don't bother putting the paint on the brand new ones now that cost like 3 times the price of what I paid for this. But yeah, I got into that line then, and I bought him quite a few other ones from that line. I used to have like Beast and a whole bunch of stuff. And when I I think this was out the first year as I moved. And then when I was in Australia, I used to go to Target and find these 6-inch Toy Biz ones. And I didn't really have the smaller scale 90s ones. I have a couple of those sitting around now I'm going to give away, but I just picked up cheap years later. But I remember seeing those in the 90s, all the Toy Biz X-Men stuff. And if you've watched like Zazel and Adam, they've been going through that whole line lately. I'm enjoying watching those. But yeah, I got into the Spider-Man ones because I like Spider-Man. I've been buying the comics, and it was really character specific because, you know, Turtles I watched on TV, so I'd buy Turtle. Spider-Man I was buying the comics, so I'd buy Spider-Man. And I got into that for probably a couple of years, and then I left it alone, and I bought other random stuff. When I was in Perth City, they had the comic shop in Quality Comics in the center of the city, and then along from that used to be a shop called, I think it was called Empire Collectibles, run by Christina and Darren.
Yeah.
And they would have the whole store was just all import action figures, all the stuff you would not get in retail stores anywhere. And this is before a lot of online stores and all that. This is like 2002, 2003. And they had amazing stuff. I bought a big, like about 16 to 18-inch Bruce Lee there that had like a real scanned face on it. And it came with like a cloth costume. And I bought all kinds of cool stuff. I got some of those Clive Barker Hellraiser McFarlane style figures. I got a couple of those. And I just buy random stuff. I wasn't really buying a lot of toys, and I was mostly buying comics. But I would go in every week and see what's new. And if something took me fancy, we were like, oh, I might get that, or I might come back next week for this. And then over the years, I've picked up random figures at like Toys R Us, like random Spider-Mans, like the cheapo 10-inch ones that are kind of in the style, like that 90s Action Man kind of scale. And wasn't until probably about 12 years ago, I started, when I'm settled back in Perth, then I started buying kind of just like modern Transformers was the main thing I was getting. This whole room was just Transformers until I decided I had enough of that and want to put some different things in. I was watching a lot of retro blasting, and I thought I'd like to have kind of a thing on a shelf, like here's a Motu, here's some Ninja Turtles, here's some Transformers, here's some Batman, and do like a kind of little curated section or collection. I mean, some of my ones I've got 50, 100 figures for one line, and other ones I've got maybe 10 or 20. I'm not really a Star Wars guy, but I bought some of the Black series because I really like the updated faces more because I'm a film fan and I like Harrison Ford and basically anything but Star Wars. I'd rather watch Clear and Present Danger or Indiana Jones or whatever. I mean, Star Wars is fine, but I just like Harrison Ford as an actor. So I'm like, oh, great, he's got a good face. Same with the Samuel L. Jackson. Like they did a really nice Clone Wars one of the face of that, and he just looks badass. Looks like his actual. So I'm really into the actor more than those films. So I bought a small collection of those, probably 10, 20 figures, just the original trilogy, like cast and core characters, the robots, Chewie, of course, because they had those nice faces. If they hadn't done those faces, I wouldn't have bought any of them. That's what sold me on that, getting just a handful of those. Because I never had Star Wars as a kid. I didn't have big vehicles or anything like that. And that's really the appeal of that line and scale if you like your vehicles. And I didn't have that stuff, so I didn't miss it.
Actually, getting on back with that Spider-Man figure, you remind me, the exact everything reminded me of when WWE came out with figures that had the same thing, same everything. Looking at that reminded me of my Bret Hart figger. That I still got.
I got in the last couple of years. I've been buying quite a few wrestling figures. I've probably got about 40 or 50 here now. Jimmy Hart.
Oh, Jimmy Hart.
Nice. Yeah. Actually, hang on. I'll pick up. This thing's not attached. I'll pick it up and show you what's right in front of me here. So I got at the moment because I do about each month or so with my mate do a podcast to talk about WrestleManias and that. So this is kind of WrestleMania themed headliners here. You got Mr. T, you got Warrior back there, Hogan, Piper. He's just a placeholder in that, so I don't lose this cloth because that's $1 Million Man, but I haven't got the figure. I've just got some bits for him. Got Macho in that like classic outfit. Slaughter over there. Iron Sheik. He's got the Skeletor's weapon there at the moment. Paul Orndorff back there. And just last week, I got this like Jazzwares CM Punk. Really nice figure. Comes with like all the parts. He's got wicked tattoos, like all over him. Really nice figure. I wouldn't say he's my all-time favorite wrestler, but I just like him as a character. He's great on the mic and that, and he's awesome figure.
Yeah,
I've got a heap of wrestling stuff out the back. I kind of rotate displays.
Those particular figures were quite awesome.
Yeah,
much on a Bret Hart one.
Yeah, I've got Bret Hart, Taker, Stone Cold, Kane, Mankind, all those like classic 90s guys, The Rock, of course. So I've got my 80s guys, 90s guys, and that. And I've got a few WCW themed ones. I did used to buy some of the old Jack Specific ones, actually, around 98, 90. They were at the warehouse, and they did like Big Show, Paul White, and they did like Rey Mysterio. So I bought like the modern Mattel equivalents of those.
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, big into wrestling. Like we got those big rubber ones.
The LJN.
When it first came out.
The LJN were the big ones, and then the smaller scale ones Hasbro did around 89, 90, sometime around there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I looking at the value, I had the Hogan with the white, the red trunks and the white top.
They were awesome.
Oh, that went thumbs up. And I kind of wish I took, kids are kids. Kids are going to play with toys.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
That's what
I regret losing those ones.
Yeah,
it would have been now.
They're very popular now. A lot of people have snatched them up, so they pay high prices for them.
Yeah. I don't think toys now these days, or like our type of toys, are toys. They're more like for adult collectors. And I have to say, I've got toys here, but I don't play with them. I customize.
Mm-hmm.
I set a lot of small little dioramas. I'm looking around my room and all that. But yeah, literally, it's pride and joy. I think it's my happy place. Was your warehouse store?
It started off as a store selling kind of like just nasty, cheap import, a lot of rubbish, to be honest. But then it slowly got better, and it became more like a Kmart or a Target, basically, in Australia. Like, you can go there now and get good, cheap clothes. Like, I buy stuff at Target and Kmart all the time. I'll go get a figure here, and then I wander over and what T-shirts have they got, or I want some cheap shorts or sneakers or whatever. So they've got all that kind of stuff, like a Kmart, really. And they actually called the warehouse because one of the ways they were cheaper is like their floors were just an unsealed concrete floor. So they literally was a warehouse. So that's where the name comes from, apart from the branding.
Yeah. I used to work in a place that we would make gas barbecues, gas heaters, trampolines, chatterings, letterboxes, hose reels. I can't think of, there's a few other bits and pieces, but we made them literally for the warehouse.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then slowly, like our first order that we lost from the warehouse was the barbecue order, which is a crying shame. And then one of our biggest, swing and slides. We used to make swing and slide sets too. So
that you made trampolines?
Yeah, we made the trampolines. Yeah.
Trampolines, yeah.
Yeah. They slowly got bigger and started adding more and more different stuff in there.
Yeah. And then we lost the contract for the trampolines, and they brought in Chinese trampolines. And then they brought in like Chinese-made gas heaters, but there was something wrong with the gas heaters. So then they
you don't say.
Yeah, they employed us to fix these Chinese gas heaters.
Yeah.
It was just the warehouse saying like, okay, we got to save a few bucks to make more money for us. I mean, I've met the boss for the warehouse, and he was really cool. I think things changed after he sold it, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but he was really cool. Really, really awesome.
I remember they had the Jack Specific WCW stuff was in there, and that was kind of a cool thing at the time, because me and my mate were both following like the Monday Night Wars, and we'd go in every week and look at the figures. And they started getting McFarlane figures that would normally only see at the comic import shop, were in the warehouse. And I learned years later, watching like Todd McFarlane's did loads of interviews on YouTube and that, and as well as old Comics Journal written articles before all YouTube existed. He made a real active push with his business to try and get into chains. For a while, he was actually in Toys R Us in Australia as well. I think for a couple of years, and then they booted them out again because it was a push to get in there. And they're like, no, these things are too violent. we don't want them in here. People, not the customers, but the dickheads in charge eventually said, no, we're not doing this. That's not kosher,
It's not kosher. Yeah. Like talking about the warehouse, this mic I got from the warehouse. So do I sound good?
I got this
Well,
from Kmart. Sounds fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few
Yeah, I got mine
complaints,
from Kmart.
Yeah.
and what it was my cable. So it just like I just went, oh, stuff it. I'll just buy a whole new mic, and hopefully it'll
I figured
work.
it was because when you moved last week, when you turned your laptop to show what's behind you, it went from like really good to bad and then back to perfect again. So I thought it's got to be like cable or something like
It is, yeah. It just started malfunction to the max, and it was doing my head.
that.
Like it's weird. I never had anxiety, but this is weird. But for me, I'm a bit of a showstopper because we used to be into wrestling like a lot, and so I got that persona as a showstopper. But I want to perform the best show I can. But things like technical issues, which is out of my control, but I should know, really does my head in, and then all of a sudden levels start arising, and you go, "Hey, I'm trying to be as good as I can, but on a budget too."
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm letting people down. And it's not. Yeah.
Well, the microphone I had before this one, because I didn't have anything. I just had a cheap one on the desk that sat on a little stand you wouldn't see, and it worked a couple of times. But it would go on. I talked to a couple of mates in America and that, and some of the circles of toy friends and that, and I'd go on to talk with them, and it'll be coming on like Alvin and the Chipmunks sound like that. And I couldn't hear it, but they could hear it. And they're going, and they sit there laughing their heads off. And I'm going, what the fuck's going on with you guys? And they're like, sorry.
That's okay.
They're sitting there going, you know, like, what's going on? And they thought I was having them on. I'd put some voice modulation or something on, because I'm always making bad jokes. So they just assumed it was me being me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. What's going on? They had to tell me in the chat. And I had to unplug the thing, reset the computer, plug it back in, and reboot it. It was the USB ports did some kind of weird glitch.
Yeah, we're gonna have Sazel on the show on the 30th. What time, bro? 9 o'clock.
Make it 9 o'clock. New Zealand time, 9 o'clock.
I don't actually quite understand how to change times for other people. I should actually get into that.
You just tell them your home time zone, and I just go on the web and type in wherever you are, wherever I am, and I see the differences.
Kiwi, stop! You're not letting anyone down. Yeah, I know that, but it's once you get that sort of thing in your head, and also, I'm classed as an overthinker. I don't know if my brother is classed as an overthinker, but it's sort of appear as I became a manager and you started preparing and working out scenarios. Now I can't stop that overthinking. And this of myself.
I'm a researcher. I research things before I do it. I research it. I go over researching it before I buy it or before I purchase. The one I got from Kmart, this awesome mic, I researched it. They said it was good for the budget. You know?
Yeah. Oh, while you're there, Johnny, I want to say, my brother and I want to say thank you so much for stepping in for that answer.
I'm innocent.
Yes, there was a brainstorm of mine doing Anzac, and then something happened to my brother's side of the family was and me, my health took a downturn, and I'm still seeing the doctor too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, I mean, too much is like when the bill comes in.
I'm more bad son.
So yeah, that was something I was looking
non-alcoholic beverages today.
Yeah, well, I've just done firewood today, and I'm literally my muscle. I've been on firewood in ages. I mean, I've dropped 3 trees, and my mate dropped 4, so in total 7 trees. And I'm buzzy as, and my arm is actually killing me. So it's just the price of my new job at the moment. It's physical, but it's not as physical on the farm. So I'm really unfit. So I've got to keep up my fitness now.
But
if you feel it when you haven't done something for a bit and you go and do it, you really pay the price.
Yeah, but on a plus side, my back's fine, my knee's fine. It's just my upper arms. So
Did you try? And I know every guy does this, no matter what age you are. When you're cutting wood or whatever, you try and put the log on your shoulder like Arnie Schwarzenegger in Commando, and you look like. Did you do the Arnie one? No, I do it. I do it. I don't care. I do
using
it,
my brain.
but then I'm a big guy.
Nah, I'm using my intelligence. I'm that shit.
So you don't want tendonitis.
Till your wife comes out and you're all of a sudden, oh yeah, man. She walks away. Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah, come on.
No, I'm not
I've done that with a small bit of thing, but not as big as Arnie in this.
I do love
All
that.
I did today was all I did today was sleep. I was lazy today.
I've seen. You guys ever been to like when they have those bloody country town festival things and they do the wood chopping and they for time and they're incredible. Some of those big blokes, man, that like 60 seconds they just chop the hell out of it.
Yeah, we originally from Hawke's Bay, so that's like a farmer's area. So we used to go to the show, and our show was there was a few rides, like but majority of it was tractors. It was more of a farm show for us with the Hawke's Bay show. So we used to watch that all the time.
But I'm in
like those bloody wood chopping things very skilled, and it's like doing a sprint. You're basically doing that without oxygen when you're going that quick.
Yeah,
I actually chopped wood blind. I was chopping wood blind for 10 years.
Oh, nice.
Because 10 years I was partially blind. So when it came time to chopping wood for the family, I just felt where the grain was with my hand, judged it, told everyone to get the hell out of my way, and I just started chopping.
Jeez.
Move! Always to be moved. Nah, I just did it that way.
Yeah. I'm in Manawatu, which is a farming town, like Palmerston North. And we have like field aids and all that. And so literally see some strong lads there, man. Yeah, and it's funny, because my brother and I used to wrestle. And I look at them like, you guys could be excellent wrestlers,
if you got the stocky body for it, it's the best wrestler body.
Manage them.
You need the centre mass.
Yeah.
I'm skinny fella, so like I can swing a sledgehammer pretty good, but I'm not much good with chopping wood. I've done a little kindling, but not wet wood or
Yeah. Well, we've got the strength, but we don't have the stamina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
need to combine our powers.
Combine.
I don't. Yeah, I've got size. I'm 6 foot. I'm pretty big.
Johnny's wrestled with one shoe.
Johnny.
Yeah, that's a Ninja Turtles thing. It's the figures of the one shoe and one no shoe. Yeah, I used to go. I've done like bloody like jiu-jitsu, and I used to like strength training and that. But I'm still a skinny dude. I'm stronger than I used to be. But
Yeah, I studied jiu-jitsu for about a good was it 3 to 4 years, bro?
Oh, no, you did it 4 years. I did. I did 3 martial arts. I started with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
but I didn't get along with the sensei. He was just
should have thrown him out of there.
He is.
So I jumped to Aikido, and then after that, I jumped to I did jiu-jitsu as well. I did jiu-jitsu and jiu-jitsu.
Nice. Yeah, they had the place I used to go also had Yandeong martial arts in Perth City, started in the 60s, I think, and they do jiu-jitsu or jiu-jitsu, however people say it, Aikido and Pinchak Salat, because the guy that started it, Yandeong, was part of the Dutch resistance back in the war times, and he'd been to those countries and studied in person those arts, and that's why he had those particular 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Aikido and jiu-jitsu is very similar. Everyone out there.
Yeah, they got the same core principles of flowing movements and circular movements and that.
That's exactly the same as jiu-jitsu. We use circular motions. We also deal with a lot of handgun training. So handgun, that means you got to disarm a person with a handgun.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of rotation of hands.
Yeah. I wonder if I can remember some.
I used to read all those 90s martial arts magazines and that, all the American ones.
I think we got started in jiu-jitsu by watching stuff like American Ninja. All those 80s, vintage. No, vintage. I wouldn't call it vintage, retro. The great movies. They don't make it now. They're stupid how they make it now. One guy gets a love tap, and next minute he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
They got into jiu-jitsu. It was 3 characters. It was obviously Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, plus out of the thing, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I love about ninjutsu is that it caters for everybody's body size and what they can and can't do. So for me, without my glasses, I'm as blind as a bat, but I became a mat technician. So I prefer to have people right close to me, and then I tie them up.
You're going by feel. Well, we used to do stuff where we practice with our eyes closed, throwing each other around and that, because you're using the kinesthetic awareness and body contact, not your eyes. Once you've learned the movement.
Yeah. Campbell style was, he'll push you and he'll say something and say, "Oh, sorry, mate, come here, give the hug," and you go in for the hug. Next one, he goes on the mat and tap, 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 tap. But bro, no, I was a leg expert. He was an arm expert, so we used to kind of roll around the ground, like I'm trying to get his leg, he's trying to get my arm. Mum's watching, like.
Little just brought out an interesting point that she wanted to try kickboxing, but of course she's a paraplegic. But I'll give you a story what happened to me. So I did ninjutsu in high school, and there was a guy who did kickboxing, and I don't want to start fights or cause fights, but this little punk wanted to start a fight, sweet as. And with me, because I like to be up close, I waited until he grabbed my head. And that's it. I had him, and I pushed him forward, and he totally freaked out. Like, he literally freaked out, and he says, "Like, you can't do that." I said, and so he then quit his style of engagement, and became one of my best friends for a long time.
If you're not comfortable on the ground or falling, it's a very scary thing. If someone just picks you up or dumps you on the ground or jumps on you.
Yeah, I mean, I took a few shots.
To me.
You know, he did that and he bashed me in the ribs, and I took a few shots. And once he did the final shot, and I hooked his leg, and I used my own body weight to push him forward. Mate, the fear in him was unbelievable. And I just said, like, he thought I was going to finish him off. I said, I actually helped him out. I said, mate, I don't want to fight. And he turned around and says, like, "Oh no, your style's way better than mine." I said, "Yeah,
I'm a lover, not a fighter,
bro. You're set by rules."
Me, age 13, I was 6 foot and I had a bad temper, so I fought nearly every day. We were opposite, man. I'm like, every day I just find a bully to beat up.
Yeah.
And he's bullying him. Okay, come here. I love fighting.
We're really getting off course here, so we're gonna stay on course here. This is a lot of fun, though.
That's the classic Barracks boys style, man.
It is. I've got my whiteboard here, and it says "Stay on the topic."
There's something about toys or ninja toys. There we go. It's on top.
Yeah, ninja toys.
Yeah, we were talking about ninja toys.
So yeah, and you were talking about Ninja Turtles, and I must admit, I watched your last live on the Gecko.
Yeah, Monday Gecko.
Cool. All right. Terrible. I'm sorry.
I did a heap of them last year as like pre-records, and I just stopped doing it for a while because I was doing too many different things, and I thought I'm just going to cut back into the main things I was doing. And I just had too many little projects on the go, like, you know, I'd put quite a few hours each week into just doing bits and pieces. Yeah, but I always kind of come back to certain topics.
Yeah, I like your style. It's very retro.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I went, "Ooh, retro." I said, the healing stuff. I mean, like, look at the background, what you got, Transformers, stuff like that. And I think a lot of us guys our age, we tend to go back then, but you really punch it like it's like.
Up there, you got like bloody Transformers up there, big Vader and Batman over there. Yeah. Bloody Jason, Freddy, Alien, Predator up there. Yeah. Over this way. The Motu stuff, like modern stuff. That's all Motu Origin stuff in there. Snake Mountain put out a box a few months back. Big Spider-Man, first appearance Spider-Man poster up there. Some Dragon Ball on the wall. More Transformers, a Batman, a Godzilla. If we go way up, there's a Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Star of the Plane. Pokemon, Mario. More posters, more toys. Bearded fella. Spin around over here, and more toys just pretty much everywhere.
Gonzo.
Another thing I like about your style, mate, because we'll we'll be sort of like on a live stream looking face on the camera, but you're on the side. And that's something new I've never seen, and I love it.
I just when it's up here, like I'm going to put another shelf eventually on that back wall, and it's just a bit of a mess. So part of it was hiding the big mess, and part of it is the way the light goes in this room. It kind of comes in and goes that way. It's not this bright in here. The camera's making it brighter than it actually is. But it just fits much better over there. Do you want to see my fancy camera stand?
Yeah, sure.
It's a reissue triptych.
Oh, that's awesome. How let me on the.
That's what it sits on.
What is it? I know. I can't remember.
Reissue triptych.
It's a dino, isn't it? It's a
dino. He's like a robot Godzilla. He's called Triptychon, but it fits nicely on his head, so I keep it over there.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah, I got sick of it falling off the monitor, which is down the back of my desk, and there's a window right there. So I have to crawl under the desk or something falls out. I went stuff there. I'm going to put it over here. I can reach it.
Well, you want
to got my stuff.
The microphone here sitting on a couple of boxes to get to the right height.
My monitor's on a cardboard box. Just full of old books.
He's a Kiwi. He's a Kiwi, guys.
Yeah.
I feel a bit flat here now because mine's good. My setup here is insane. I don't know if you've seen it, guys, on my Instagram page, but my setup is like, I feel kind of out of place here with you guys.
I'll tell you what,
mine was all books. Used to be all books on those shelves. They're just cheap, nasty IKEA things. But because I moved a bunch, I've only kept certain things and gotten rid of things over the years.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything in here is most of the stuff in here is what I bought in the last 10 years, pretty much.
Just right.
I've got a few toys from childhood, but not many.
Yeah. These right behind me, I got for free.
Yeah.
But the cabinets, but I've been sort of like they mentioned a couple of people have mentioned me that maybe I should paint them white.
I like them as is. Like my dad's got pretty much the same kind of ones. He had all his die-cast motorbikes and stuff, and it's got that reflective backing in there, which looks really nice with the metal stuff.
This here I'm taking out because my collection's getting too big, and basically it's just...
That's a booze cabinet. That's what that is.
Yes.
I got one of them,
So I'll take the shelf off, and I'll put more of my collection in there. Yeah, as I start repairing more stuff and all that, it's and as I start purchasing more or thank you, people who give. Yeah, I must admit that pretty blows my mind.
What you need to do is, you see your shelves, right? You got a lot of space from a shelf to shelf. From Warehouse, I bought these sort of they're like steps, and they're for pictures to put stars on. If you see my Instagram, you see my Star Wars figures where I got in my wardrobe. And I actually got them placed like that because it saves so much room. You need that. Because look how much room. Look how much room you got. You may need to do that.
No, actually.
But my JoJo stuff and all that, it's down in the dungeon. In the garage where it's too black, you can't see nothing.
Yeah, Lilith's onto it. Like I like those cabinets because my dad had some kind of ones with all this nice bloody. It doesn't collect figures. He's got die-cast cars and all that. He's always into motorsport.
Yeah, I got mixed between Cobras, Star Wars, and the V8s.
So what I got is the rolling thunder, which I need to repair, and I'm waiting for a time to repair that. But that's pretty much solid. And in this cabinet here is vehicles, but unfortunately the vehicles have got like aerials that stick up like dog's bollocks.
Yeah.
I mean, I could take the aerials out and then add another shelf, but then it also seems like it's too congested.
Yeah, too crowded. You could have like little mini risers, like for individual figures or smaller stuff that it's a couple without elevating everything could work, and maybe some LEDs or something that would look cool.
Yeah. Well, I've got some more LEDs, but I run on battery, but I forgot to charge the batteries up. Yeah, typical. And also,
I've never put any in because I'm too lazy. I want to eventually, but I'm always buying too many toy figures, and I'm winding up a lot of things, so I'm going to eventually get to something like that.
And also, I've got to be aware that I'm not going to be in this room for we're looking at. I want to move, but the wife wants to build another and rent this house. I rather move. I rather get another place, move, and then that's it, done and dusted. But my wife is a good a few years younger than me, so I think she's thinking her mind game is she's still young. I'm not. I'm older.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And
that's an awkward moment.
Yeah, that's indeed.
Actually, that room, guys, I've been in there, and I don't know how I don't know how he's sitting because it's so narrow. I walk in there, I'm like, Kevin goes, the photo goes, I've got this one here. I'm like, this, like,
it's quite narrow. It is quite narrow.
I don't know how you sit in that chair though.
I'm leaning forward.
He's got like an accordion spine or something. He just compresses down like a mouse.
Yeah, I am. Afterwards, when I do live stream, so I literally go and stretch backwards. But another thing I want to talk to you about too, Jonny, is what made you start into a YouTube channel?
Well, I don't really even have much. It's just that talk to mates overseas. Basically, it's pretty much living in Perth. If I wasn't living here, I wouldn't be putting video nothing up there. It's just a way of having the conversation going more with the mates that I already talk to privately and chats and that during the week and that, because I don't get to see them. I got like mates over in America and that. Well, I've never met them in person, but we're just all in the same bunch of circle jerkers, I guess.
Yeah,
like we're all just in the toys, and we're all mature age people. There's no one. Well, there's one guy I think who's a bit under 30, but he's got mature taste for his age. He's into a lot of classic stuff as well as modern suits. But yeah, like it's just a way of talking and keeping the conversation going about stuff I love, like Batman and Turtles and whatever else, and like I did do written blogs for years and years, and it was just fairly solitary because you're not communicating directly with anyone. Someone might read an article, but I'm not talking to them. So it's nice to get to talk to people occasionally online instead of just being a text chat or whatever in a message thing.
That reminds me, I saw a thing on you talking about the Mad Max.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of knowledge on movies, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty big on movie stuff. I always research stuff for that week or that month, usually more like for a topic. But I love movies, like always. Like I've watched thousands and thousands of movies.
Yeah. I look at it.
I know what you mean, Johnny. I'm the same too. I every night my girlfriend and I we take like next night's my turn, her night, and we will research. Of if not movies, it's program. Like we will research it before we get into it. Like when we watch a Mad Max movie, the new one. My girlfriend said, "Well, this actually was the that's not Mad Max himself who's at the beginning of the movie. It's actually the little boy that Mad Max gave that little Twinkie toy to." I don't know. We YouTubed it and we researched it, and we were like, "Oh, okay." And then I do research and stuff, so I know exactly how you are and feel.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'll do a follow-up to that Mad Max one sometime because there's a heap of classic Aussie 70s films which were big, not just influence on Mad Max, they straight up stole a heap of stuff as they did in the 70s, like Grindhouse style. Everyone just pinched from everyone, like Tarantino. Yeah. Here's the best of all these films I like. I might do a follow-up to that because it's really cool, the DNA of the first two Mad Max films. Films like Stone was like the one with all the bikers and stuff. And there was some other films that George Mel even worked with. I mean, about a third of the cast from the original Mad Max were from his previous film. He just knew them, and that's why they ended up being in Mad Max.
Yeah. I literally love the Mad Max films. It's just
lucky because I always played on TV in Australia and New Zealand, so I got to watch them for free as a kid.
Yeah. New Zealand too, but I think I knew it was going to stop, so I did actually. We had Sky, so Sky back in the day before they changed to Sky Digital, you could able to record. And so I had myself a DVD recorder, and I just recorded the movie, being a cheapskate. Yeah,
we used to rent VHS movies like when I was a kid, and when my dad got a second VHS machine, this is like 10, 15 years later, his old one was still going, so he used to just record everything so I could watch it again the next week. And
Yeah.
like Die Hard and that, and Transformers the movie or whatever. And
That's wicked. Just a little question. Do you ever collect GI Joes at all, or not?
No, I'd never had them as a kid. Well, I mean, technically, I had one.
One.
I couldn't even tell you what it was. He came with, and I had a guy who was in brown uniform and he had orange hair. That's all I could tell you. I don't know what he was called.
Was he a flamethrower guy? That would be Charbor, wouldn't it?
I don't know the names, but it was definitely, he'll be like late 80s or somewhere in there.
I think it sounds like Charbor, which is a flamethrower.
And I got
with helmet,
and I got with that. I don't know if it came with him, but it was on a separate thing, a little wind-up helicopter backpack.
Oh,
it was just had handles here, and you wind it. It's an actual winding, and then it would spin around.
Oh, I've got one. It's the blue helicopter, eh?
Yeah, it's blue.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
That was mid-90s, wasn't it?
That's the only thing I ever had. I don't know. I got them on the same day. There might have been time apart when I got one thing and the other thing.
All right, mate. See you later, Retro. I'll
Yeah,
be visit. Oh, and hello, Gaz. How you going, mate? Sorry, I didn't see you. I mean, I did see you, but I was so hooked up with the conversation that I'm being rude, people.
Actually, I really like
I mean, they were, but when I was getting older, and that they just weren't in the stores or even around. And most of the kids in the neighborhoods didn't have them. They tended more to have like masters and stuff like that. And so I very rarely saw G.I. Joe stuff. I probably saw more vintage Star Wars stuff as a kid at mates' places who would have stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we experimented with a few other things. Like I was heavily into G.I. Joes, name my channel. My older brother was more into Transformers. Like, you should check it. Next time I go visit my folks, I'll go and, if with his permission, I'll film his room, and he's got heaps of stuff.
If I get it before you, good.
Yeah. Get his permission first. And my brother here,
I've collected when I was younger. There was heaps like Jonny. I had Star Wars. That was my main one. I had G.I. Joes. I had wrestling. I had cops.
Yeah.
I had Ninja Turtles.
We never got the He-Man.
Yeah.
We didn't have, believe it or not, we didn't have much He-Man here. We had more G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, Transformers, stuff like that. But no, mine was Ninja Turtles, cops, G.I. Joes, and wrestling.
When I was a kid, I mostly played with the He-Man ones at other people's houses who actually had them. We were fairly poor in that, and I had like 2 or 3, no play sets or anything. So it was just other kids' houses after school to play with other stuff.
Yeah, we were the same boat too, mate. We had that worked really hard, and I wouldn't say we were poor. I wouldn't say that we were rich. My parents knew that, hey, power, food, roof over our heads,
that's
important. And if they had something left over, toys. I mean, I remember one birthday. I can't remember what age I was when I got. Is it Mac? No. It's on Mars. It's the guy that rides the Brad Turner, the bike. Yeah. Turns a helicopter. Now, it's quite funny. Lately, I've been watching a lot of Toy Polloi stuff, which I'm working on. Part of me wants to just get that toy back again. I know it's not a joke. Just get it back again and sit back on my shelf. It's like Star Wars. I'm a lover of Star Wars. I'm more a Star Trek fan. But
yes.
When the Force Awakens, I love the CP3O and R2D2.
I still got your original ones here. I still got your original. And I got your Han Solo.
No, they're yours.
Yeah, I got the Han Solo, the vintage. I've still got them here.
Yeah, no, they're yours, mate. I gave them to you. They're in a good home.
I love original Star Trek, but I've only got like the show on DVD. I don't have any figures or merchandise, and it's not something I go after. I'd happily have a Kirk figure, but it's not something you generally come across. I mean, you get the old Playmates ones and that. But...
Yeah, well, they've got the Admiral Kirk and Captain Spock from Star Trek
Generations. Oh, I got two. Yes.
Next generation.
Yeah, and they're really good figures. So I've actually got them and displayed them. I actually gave the Spock one, and I brought another Spock and gave it to my foreman because he used to go out to me like Logic Spock. Hey, the fun's up again.
I had a Spock and a Scotty from when it was the late 90s generations in that Playmates line, because it was like the later releases to do with the movies more than the TV shows. But they always sat in the lounge with my dad's diecast cars in that store where they live now.
Yeah.
So they didn't come with them, but they just looked too good there, and they stayed with they're like bending over like they're working on the engine and it.
There was something else that my brother and I collected when we were more adults, was American choppers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing them everywhere.
Yep, I've still got them, bro. But I did sold a lot in the box because when I moved from the farm to here, I just couldn't keep them.
Yeah, well, I was in a situation where I was known if I'd stayed with me, they would have been destroyed.
Yeah, so, the loose choppers I've still got. Yeah, the loose American choppers.
Yeah, I remember that when you're talking about Johnny, your dad's diecast.
Well, he was always getting stuff, so I used to see it all the time at the warehouse and that, and even my mate would be there, they'd be like, "Has your dad been in this week? They got more diecast stuff in there."
My assistant.
Everyone needs an assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know where her daddy is?
Star Trek is good. I still watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine on Netflix. I love it.
I watched them all the first time around. I mean, not the original because it's before I was born, but all the Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. The first run, I watched them all through.
Yeah, I'm actually watching the OG, the original from the beginning. I'm watching it right now.
That's the only one I own or really want to rewatch. It's just the original show. I just love the original show, the crew, the cast, style of it. It's very, it's super low budget, like your Doctor Who and that. And
crazy and I like the original. I like when James T. Kirk and Lee Noy doing Spock. I like the old retro. I don't like those ones. I like them, but my favorite is the retro original.
I don't really dislike any of the Star Trek shows, really, but just the original one, it was always on repeats on a weekend, on like Lost in Space and stuff like that.
But right now, I'm just talking back some good childhood memory. I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah,
I watched them all through again last year in order. It was great to actually watch the full run in order, because on TV they usually repeat the same ones, whatever's cheapest that they've bought for the season or whatever.
Now, do you guys notice on the Star Trek: The Next Generation on the intro? I think was it season 2 or 3? There's a planet there when it rotates, doesn't it? And there's an area that looks like New Zealand. Have you guys noticed that?
Really? I've noticed. I have to look that up.
Yeah, you look at it. Yeah,
YouTube it up.
And inside is like a black shadowy outfit of New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand was mentioned a lot of times, but New Zealand was mentioned as a prison country. They had a major prison in New Zealand, which kind of like, yay, we're mentioned, but prisoners.
It's been turned into Escape from New York in the future.
Oh, that's a great movie, mate. Yeah. Have we done that? Have we done a thing on Russell Crowe? Not Russell Crowe. Why is my mind going?
I know what you meant.
I know I said Russell Crowe because I trailer of the next film he's doing. It looks out the gate. Oh yes, I have. Yeah, I remember watching that.
Oh yes,
that's a classic. Yeah, that's a literal classic.
But you know what was awesome back in the videotapes of the Joe movies that we used to watch? I want to watch all those stuff again. I want to try to hunt some down. And actually, I might go online and see if I can hunt some down.
I've got a
lot of old stuff lately.
I've got loads of cartoons I saved from torrents over the years because they're just not available in this region on DVD and that. A lot of them.
Land of the Giants. Oh man, it's been back. We should have brought a topic about like old school TV shows. I'd like to have you back talk about old school TV shows.
Yeah, for sure. Talk about TV shows, movies, whatever, crazy monsters or stop motion or bad special effects, any of those things, man.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on your show, vice versa. That could be a great topic, actually. You guys are giving.
Yeah, I'm up for whatever, man.
For topics. Thank you, audience. But yeah, that's out the gate. So we started with like the YouTube channel, and then we just went off on the tangent. It's just we just go off on the tangent.
I've got no ambitions for YouTube stuff. I just do it to talk to like mates and that. Basically, that's what I do.
Well, mate, I consider you, and if you see me, I call it #GijoeFamily, but I consider you like part of the family, mate. Honestly.
Oh, thank you, man. It's very complimentary.
Saying that, like hearing the word community, and after hearing what Hazel says about community, I've got to agree with him. So I would say the people that we've come on the show and all that is like a big family. I consider like an extended family of us.
Yeah. Like I mean, if it wasn't the guys that become mates with overseas and that, but it wasn't people like Jim Largo, Late Night Bill, Zazel, Grunhead Jim, like those guys I've talked to offline and whatever in chats in the last couple of years. They've been very welcoming and encouraging of people. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff. I'd just be sitting out there reading a book or whatever.
Yeah. So we've got Zazel coming in on the 30th on this month, 9 p.m. New Zealand time. So that'll be a great show. And once again, mate, we can't thank you enough for picking up that ball and rolling with it with that Ends at Day special. Like that, that went beyond my dreams. And I felt, like you guys are just awesome. Like, and that was Zazel. He got the ball rolling on that one. I was just like turned up because he invited me. So full credit to him. Yeah. I want to try and get Chad involved in the chat too. So
that'd be cool.
That'd be quite cool too. I've
watched a few of his videos. Like I don't always know what he's talking about because I just like his style.
He was he was my second customer for my t-shirt. So he's got one of my t-shirts. Nice. But that was a murder actually to send from New Zealand to America.
Mm-hmm.
The t-shirt was a good price, but mate, shipping something to the States, unbelievable.
Yeah, I told you, man. It's crazy now.
It is crazy.
It's gotten pretty bad in the last 10 years. It's just skyrocketed up.
But I've got to give Lenny a t-shirt because he sent me a couple of aerials for the hammer. So I've got to get on top of that. I've also got to send a t-shirt to the guy I got the Crusader. And thanks, bro, for picking it up for me too, bro.
Yeah, it was good. It was actually a good trip and a good fan of yours. He was cool.
He was cool? You like him?
Yeah, he was cool. He was good. Yeah, cool trip. Didn't mind doing it.
All right, let's go to like an hour now, but I'm having a lot of fun here. But yeah,
I can't believe the size that you could live in that.
Try and get some hats. A lot of your fans will love the hats if they can't fit the shirts. But like, I'm a big guy, and the shirts that Ken was got and I got, this is for XL, so they're pretty big. But try and get some hats, son.
I've made a good deal with my t-shirt. People get the t-shirts, so I've done a really good deal with them lately. So yeah, I'm selling myself actually. Sorry, people.
How dare you on your own show?
Get the Barracks merchandise. Actually, we'll be getting some t-shirts of the Barracks logo. If anyone's keen, let us know. I'll do them. I'll do them up.
Yeah, direct message. Actually, you two should become friends on Facebook too. So look, I'll send a link to you, Jonny.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think we're more than just friends. We're just a family.
Oh yeah, it's a community of family. Yeah,
we're a great family.
Yeah, I think what it is, it's not only going towards Joes and toys. It's a bunch of guys that we're into toys, but we're into growing up in the 80s and the 90s. You know,
and like Zazel, he's lived all over Australia, and when I mentioned Quality Comics, he's like, I've been there. I mean, it's not, the shop's not there anymore, but it's like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Now he's one of those genuine top-notch guys, man. I'm just at all of him. Like what I can see, he's such as one of the nicest guys I've ever seen.
I'm looking forward to chatting with him.
Yeah, me too. I
every
feel Star Trek, to be honest. Just like I'm kind of Star Trek with you, mate. It's just like I've watched your stuff and it's just like it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm still getting new with this live stream, but I reckon towards the end of the year, especially with how this was working out and no glitches, I'll be happy camping and we can carry on more.
Yeah.
So anyway, I reckon we should do plugs and shouts and all that sort of stuff. So let's the guest of honor go first.
Yeah, I haven't got much to say really. Like I do. The regular things I do once a week. I do a podcast with my mate Mark, which is Boba Joe show, and we mostly talk about films, sometimes video games. We've chronologically been going through WrestleMania, so we've done like 10 episodes just on WrestleManias, of a couple hours each. And occasionally, about once a month and once a fortnight, I do like a Mutant Mondays, which is just a character-specific talk from Vintage Ninja Turtles, basically.
Yeah, I love
all those under playlists and whatever on my channel. It's all under there. I've delisted a lot of stuff. If you go on there, it says there's something like 50 videos. There's actually about 300 videos, but I've unlisted a lot of them because the algorithm was just bearing every new thing I was doing and not even showing it. So I just went, nah, I'm just going to delist stuff and just focus on the regular stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. Like today, I got called on Thursday about doing firewood in the morning, and I need to make sure my family's nice and warm and all that. But like what I do, I love it, but I've also got to balance work, family, and self. So what I've done lately, and I did a short fuse review. So if I don't have enough time to do a repair or whatever, or I am doing a repair and it's taking too long, I just jump on and do a review video now. Yeah. And I know people have done heaps of reviews, but I don't know if it hurts my channel or it is great for my channel.
No, it's good because if you just do repairs, what you're doing is quite good because you got to change it up. And that's something I learned when I originally did card channels. Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, once you see one guy fix something, you see 100 times, hundreds. And that's if you've got boobs and cleavage, you ain't going to entertain them. So what you do is quite good is to mix it up.
This ain't Baywatch, bro.
Baywatch was
Baywatch had WCW wrestlers in there, wasn't all bad.
Actually, I know
Baywatch was a good 90s show for me.
I'll talk to you about this after it's ended, Johnny. You're little to say this.
Yeah, do that TV show. Ask Lil what's some of her favorite shows and that'll get a topic going.
Yeah, we'll definitely get the topic going. Anyway, bro, what was your plugs or shout outs?
My plug is not really a shout out. Coming up soon, and I'm not going to be on live till the end of the month, so I want to do a shout out for my mum. Our mum's birthday coming up soon.
Oh shit!
And then the day before was my girlfriend's birthday, which is a nightmare having 2 birthdays in a row. But yeah, happy birthday, mum, coming up. I don't want to just do on live. Give a shout out to you, mum. Love you.
I just totally forgot. Actually, I need to go ahead and buy her a present. This year's been hectic, bro. Like this year has been hectic. Yeah, as you know, that's why we couldn't do the exact thing. It is what it is. Don't worry, my iPhone will tell me when it's her birthday. Mum, if you're watching this, I love you, Mum. You're the best.
That might be a bullshit COVID.
Okay, well, I'll go to me and do a plugs and shout out. So first of all, I want to thank you, Johnny, for coming on board.
Yeah,
a little bit, but I think God, you're still here. You kind of remind me when I first did my live stream with Lenny, and I didn't know how to use the live stream. So nervous as
you were a deer of headlights.
Something happens.
I was a deer of
headlights. Like, am I on? Yeah, you remind me of Dr. Evil. Is it? Am I on? Am I on? Is it done? Yeah, you look like a deer of headlights. That was a crack up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But the more I do this, the more comfortable I'm getting.
No, this is not my first radio show.
It's
not my first time I've done this.
So my brother and I next month, which will be I think in 4 weeks' time, bro. You and I are both going to be filming a toy fair in Wellington.
Yep. We'll be there together.
Yeah, so we'll be there together. So that'll be kind of cool. So I've got to thank the people in Wellington, and that was just an off-the-cusp thing that came to my head, actually. So, check that out, people, in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, I think it's roughly 4 weeks, yeah. And Lower Hutt.
And goldfish eyes. Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, I did, actually.
So, yeah, Lower Hutt, 4 weeks' time. If you, I know some Lower Hutt guys out there who are gijoe fans collector, especially the guy my brother got that shipper. Come along and meet us. We'll be there.
Yep.
You won't find it hard to spot us with our merchandise.
Yeah. But they have heaps of things. They've got heaps of things. Not only just gijoe, they've got Transformers, Lego, He-Man. I was searching their Motu actually. What else we got? Hot Wheels. New Zealand seems to be a lot of Hot Wheel fans.
Yeah. Well, there's a big racing culture there for a long time, and my dad always took me as a kid to bloody circuit racing, the speedway, and drag racing, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it's getting back now because of staying in America, and there's Scott Dixon, and there's so many New Zealand racing drivers, Lee Nielsen. We're getting back into motorsport big time, New Zealand. So that's why.
New Zealand actually. Bogans. About
more motorsport than I ever cared for my lifestyle.
boy races are killing
North Island, seen some exhibition there with my dad when he came over one time.
Yeah.
What, the speedway? Yeah. Team Chiefs.
I can still smell that speedway bike. Oh, those fumes on Saturday night.
Yeah. Or the dust, bro, on the speedway.
Oh, yes.
All the accidents where they ram into the barriers. And you're like, yeah.
We actually had a chance to be a pit crew. My brother and I. We were actually in the pits doing pit crew. And that was the most highlight moments of my life because the guy went out in a stock car and he was going around the corner. And our pit chief, the guy who was in charge, like, I know what I'm doing. He forgot to attach the steering wheel on properly. So this guy came around the corner and he's going past the pits like this, like.
And he hit the wall.
Funny. He was cracking up the guy. His stock car got hammered.
That's the worst time.
Cracking up.
He hit the wall and he was out for the rest of the race.
Lucky Campbell and I did his seatbelts. Correct. But his steering wheel. That was funny.
It was funny. Just smashed into the wall.
He was cracking up.
I thought
the pit car was going crazy. He was like, he was going around having smashing things.
Yeah.
Okay. Off subject.
I don't miss that at all. So anyway, people, I'm going to call this end of the show. I reckon it's been a great show. Once like, share, subscribe. These great people.
Instagram. Cover pit.
Are you on Instagram too, Johnny?
Yeah. I used to post a lot. Now I just mostly post a couple of things a week, just about whatever videos are up, and that was about it.
Yeah, that's what I've done with my I also wanted another plug up Adam. So I don't know his last name. Actually, I do know his last name, but I won't say it. Anyway, the Lenny and Aaron and Adam, those crew. So they've been helping me out a lot. Sort of like build my confidence up with
nice.
The stream. I messaged Adam about a few nights ago because I heard that he's quite good with thumbnails. So I'm now upping and changing my thumbnails to make it more professional because I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but it's not that much. I've gone past 500 now, and I feel I need to up my game. It's funny how now you need to up your game. Every milestone you achieve, you got to think you got to do better now. It's almost like getting a promotion if you think about it.
I think it's what they call the lights syndrome, where the more proper you get, the more how most actors, when they start low, they're humble. When they get famous, the blinding lights of the Broadway. Now, so you kind of better yourself, and what you're doing is sometimes you end up ruining yourself.
No, I'm really am humble. It's just that I think myself like, okay, I need to up the game now.
That's like going for a job interview. You don't want to turn up what you're doing around the house on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
I just turn up to a donkey with my black singlet on, my gumboots. I want this job.
Well, once again, like I said, yeah, I thank all my guests, or my bro and I. Thank you, Jonny. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you on the game.
Yeah, for sure. Come in.
Because Little actually had no idea that, and Gad's too, about TV shows. So we can probably talk up a storm of TV shows in the past that we both enjoyed, all that. But I think that's more your cup of tea, mate. So if you want to have us, we'll gladly come on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we can do a multi. Not more than like we can have a few of us come on. Yeah, I've got an idea.
Yeah, I want to thank all the audience. Thank you so much. You guys are just absolutely brilliant. And I'll catch you guys all later. See ya.
See ya.